much for me. And so I had to get to a point where like I had to ask him to meet me to get gas in my car. It was like so like demeaning. Had to ask him to meet me to get milk for the kids, like all these things. And so like one of my big, huge messages for me and that I want to promote within my business and for people I want to connect with is obviously single moms, divorced moms, because even after the fact, like I was like, okay, once I get to the divorce, I'm going to be fine because I'll have like child support and all that. Come to find out, you can't rely on those kind of things at all.
No, they don't always pay, do they?
No, they don't. Unfortunately, they don't. So I've had to like reinvent myself and take care of 4 boys. I've been divorced for a little over 4.5 years now and just totally reinvent myself at 40 years old, take care of 4 boys on my own. And I want to know how to tell my story to where people are inspired by it and don't feel sorry for me. Like that's the last thing that I ever want someone to do is feel sorry for me. I want them to feel inspired and be like, okay, you know, you can start over at any age. You can recreate yourself at any age. You can build a whole new legacy for your family at any age.
Cool.
How do I convey that?
So, I mean, I'm just going to be real with you. You just did. Like, okay, a couple things. I wrote down a couple things. So the first thing is whenever you're writing your story, which I hate to say this because it's terrible, that's really common.
Yes.
I don't know why it's so common because that's terrible, but it's really common. So I think there are literally millions of people that if you were to tell your story are not going to feel sorry for you. They might even write words like, oh my God, I'm so sorry this happened. But they're not going to feel pity, which I think is what you're concerned about. But they're going to be like, girl, look at you. Screw him. Like, what an idiot. He doesn't even know, like, does he know what he's missing out on? What a loser. And they're going to be really proud of you. Like, I'm just telling you, because even the way you're speaking, I know there's probably moments, because you're human, where you just are like, this is terrible.
Right.
But you speak with a level of conviction where you're like, you know what? Like, I am woman, hear me roar. So I think you're probably, which is really cool, but I think you're probably further in your journey than you realize you are. Like, I think you've done a good bit of healing just from how you actually spoke. But I would be telling your story and just straight up asking it like that. Hey, where are my single mamas who can relate to this? The other thing about it is you can tell that in so many different chunks. So you don't always have to go out there if it makes you feel a little bit barfy. You don't have to go out there and tell the whole entire thing. You know,
right.
You can say, you can do almost like a call to action for the single moms. The next day you can do a call to action for the 40-year-olds who have to reinvent themselves. The next day you can do a call of action to the people whose partners do not pay child support. The next you can do a call to action for people that went through difficult divorces. The next you can do a call, I mean, like, you have so much inside of that story. It is so powerful.
Okay.
Your job is basically finding out now who relates. Who's been somewhere like this before? Who's felt like this? Who's gone through this? Has anyone been through a storm like this one? Let me tell you, you know? And then, you know, just the flow of a story being, here's where I was. And that can even include, like, marriage was good. Life was good. I thought we were happy. I thought the boys were, you know, always going to have the nuclear family. Like, I never wanted to have children that were a product of divorce, you know. It can be all the way back there to where you are now, and then also future. You could also tell it from the perspective of, you can also have your before part of the story be, you know, before entrepreneurship, before network marketing, before you know, getting around empowered female, whatever it is, whatever your story wants to be. You can literally talk about then the financial part. You can tell a prosperity story. You can, you know, mention, you could even say, you know, before my divorce. I mean, you can tell it so many different ways. You have such a cool story. I know it probably doesn't feel cool. That might not be the right word, but, you know, like, there's a lot you can do with that, because I think there's so many layers to this onion. Mm-hmm. That are way more empowering than you probably even realize. So you could literally say, before my divorce, from who I thought was going to be, you know, my forever 15-year marriage. You know, we used to travel twice a year. We used to have huge I'm making stuff up. Obviously, I don't know the whole story, right? We used to have crazy Christmases. We used to do birthday parties and anniversary trips to, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then since then, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And then my future, here's what's going to happen. If you can relate to any of this, or if you're in the middle of anything like this, or if you want to follow the journey, if you're in your own personal storm, drop a heart below, drop a yes below. You know, if you want a safe place to chat, drop a yes below or DM me, whatever it is, right? But your story is already extremely inspiring. For you to be able to come on this call with me and like be able to deliver it the way you did, I was like, oh, she's already starting at least to step into that stage of like, I am woman, hear me roar, screw you.
Right. Yeah. I kind of had to be.
Right. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, you got to be like Mama Lion. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, and a part of that too is like I've had to, even though I've like been divorced for 4.5 years, then I've gone to court that entire 4.5 years.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it's not like it's just like done. It's been like court, having to take my boys away from them and all that crap.
And that too, like again, so many different stories inside of there. Okay. Like, hey, just want to, like, you know what no one ever talks about? No one ever talks about what it's like to really get divorced.
Right. And I just want to come across positive. Like, I don't want to come across as like negative. I don't want to come across as complaining. Like, yep. I just want to come across very positive and empowering.
I mean, the way you just delivered it to me, I didn't feel like you were doing a woe is me. I didn't feel like you were doing a look how terrible everything is, look, my awful ex-husband. Like, that's not what it felt like to me. It felt like, no, it didn't feel like that at all.
Okay.
I did not get that impression.
Okay, good. I have another question for you, completely different.
Cool.
So I say I kind of found you by accident. Like, I found you through GoPro because I was really struggling in a different company, you know?
Yep.
And I was looking at ketones already. And I'm like, she sells ketones. Perfect. This works. And then you were talking about your systems. I'm like, whatever. I've been sold a bag of like crap for years about systems or whatever. And then I saw yours. I'm like,
oh, she actually has systems.
She actually has, like, really awesome systems. Like, holy crap. Like, where have these been all my life? So.
In my head.
I know.
Oh, one sec.
So.
It's okay. Keep talking. I'll just.
Okay. Listen. So anyway, how do I kind of talk about that? I don't want anyone to think like switchy, but I'm like, holy crap! Like, this is something. As far as like when I found you and started like stalking you like everybody does, and like looked at your systems, I'm like, I have to be around this, and it like has totally changed the trajectory of my business. Totally changed my attitude towards it, you know. Really, like, the confidence because of your systems is just like I feel like what's interesting, some of the girls that I talk to still in my old network marketing company, which I loved my old network marketing company. There was nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But I was like, I need this. Like, this is what I need. I don't know how to talk about that necessarily without it being, am I talking about it already?
Yes. You literally, I mean, you just pitched me on my own business. You just made me want to join myself. Like, sign me up. I'm ready to go. Like, I mean, I'm just, yes. Like, and again, you know, it wasn't woe is me. It wasn't negative. It wasn't toxic. It wasn't, you know, my old company was total crap. No, you literally just said, look, I found exactly what I needed. I needed an actual system. People talk about it all the time, but I swear to you, there's an actual system. You know, I finally have the calls I need. I have the trainings I need. I have one-on-one coaching calls with my leader. I have, like, whatever it is that, I don't want to put words in your mouth. So whatever it is that you love about the system, I finally have scripts that work. I have, onboarding calls. I have, like, whatever, you know?
Well, and it's not only that, where it's, I talk to the girls all the time that were with my own network marketing company, and I'm like, literally, I joined, and within 10 minutes, I felt like I could onboard somebody, which is like, was such a, like, something that held me back in my old company for so long, because I'm like, I felt so like
what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, I don't know how to onboard them. I don't want to tell them. I don't want them to fail. But it's like with you and your team, you're just like, boom. Yeah, I know how to onboard you. No big deal. I've been with them for 10 minutes.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's the pitch. Because there's no pitch. That's real life.
Right.
That is real life on our team, and you're living proof of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was great.
So,
I'm ready to sign up. What's your link?
Come on. All right. I don't think that I think the only other question I have would be as far as, I guess, just talking about those things, just coming across with the energy and the positivity of it won't, I guess I just don't, I'm sure it's just a mindset thing where I don't want people to like second guess my decision. I've never done that before where I'm just like, holy crap, that's exactly what I need right there. And like, boom, and went with it and never second guess. Like, I didn't second guess it, but yet I have this in the back of my head saying other people are going to second guess me. Mm-hmm. You know?
I think you can lean on the systems.
Okay.
Just like you just did, and I would keep the positivity like you had. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, if I were listening to it, I'd be like, I want to join. That sounds great. Like, I'm sick of struggling. I mean, that could even be part of it. Like, does anyone have network marketing PTSD? Anyone out there have network marketing PTSD? Your leader said that they were going to have all this stuff, and then you joined them, and it was like the witness protection program. You could never find them again? Yeah, me too. Me too. Or like whatever. I mean, maybe that's not the exact story for you, but like you said, you were like, no, I'm ready to recruit because I know what to do. I just got to give him the robot. I got to get him plugged into this, that, done.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then as far as like, I have like all these people, I don't know how else, but there's not really a funnel, but you know what I mean? Like, you kind of get them, you're talking to all these people. I can't believe how many leads like I have right now, you know, but they're just kind of like, they're building, and so that's exciting. Is there anything that I should be doing? Like, sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, like they should have signed up by now, or should I be talking to them more? Should I be talking to them less? But I'm trying to stick with the systems, you know, so that I don't like work.
So I would be like normal about it, first of all. You know, I think sometimes people just get super, super pushy, and I would keep focusing on the leads because the sales will come. I train that a lot. I know you've probably heard me say it. But the one thing I would say you could do is when somebody does order, you could literally do like a thank you in your Instagram story, your Facebook story. You can make a post about it. You can do whatever, just to bring attention to it, because people do have this bit of fear of loss sometimes, where they're like, oh my God, people are starting to order. Like, am I going to miss something? Which, like, they will. Like, cider's out today. If they don't order today, I mean, it's probably almost already sold out. It's so freaking good.
Probably.
Like, it tastes just like apple cider, by the way. It's like really freaking good. But like, just being real about it. Like, hey, some of the stuff is seasonal, or hey, thank you so much for your order. Ooh, we got so-and-so doing a 10-day drink ketone challenge. Ooh, somebody got their 15-day. Like, just making it public, I think sometimes lets people know, oh, like, Allison's getting it done. Right. Allison is getting it done. Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So I would show them. Sometimes bringing that attention to it without being pushy, it just, people will see it again. You know, you'll be back in their feed again.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any questions. I think you pretty much answered them for me.
Cool.
I appreciate that.
Anytime. I'm really glad we got to connect. That made me happy.